Strong job numbers today, just another indication that the Trump economy shows no signs of slowing down. The Bureau of Labor Statistics announcing today the United States added 201,000 jobs in August. The average wage for American workers rose to the highest since June 2009. Unemployment remained at 3.9%. And black unemployment was at its second lowest rate ever in recorded history. Now, these numbers come as the president is digging in to protect the American worker against China. The president telling reporters he is prepared to impose tariffs on an additional $267 billion in Chinese imports. These on top of the tariffs he's already said he would slap on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods. The president making it very clear that he is extremely serious about balancing trade between the two nations and that he is determined to stop the Chinese theft of U.S. technology and intellectual property. Joining me now is Peter Navarro, Assistant to the President, Director of Trade and Industrial Policy, and the Director of the White House National Trade Council. First and foremost, Peter, congratulations. This is a boom unlike anything I have seen since the early days of the 1980s, back after the Reagan tax reforms. What is the headline for you in today's economic figures?
Well, you're right about all this, David. You and I go a long way back, talking numbers, how they affect markets on Wall Street for decades. This is extraordinary. We have millions of jobs created since the president took office. We're seeing strong wage growth again.
Right.
I always like to try to skate to where the puck's going to be. And what I like about these numbers is that business confidence is really off the charts. And when you combine that with the strong ISM manufacturing numbers that also came out this week, that means we're going to continue with these numbers. In other words, we're going to have a lot more investment, so that's good. And then on the consumer side, you've got consumer confidence off the charts. And when you combine that with wage growth, that means we're going to get the consumption driver going. So what jumps out for me is that good today, but also looking good for tomorrow. And what this president is doing really is extraordinary, and it's basically an extension, David, of what he promised to do. I mean, I was part of that campaign. I probably was on one of your shows during that campaign, and we said the same thing. It's like, we're going to cut taxes, deregulate, unleash the energy sector, and level the playing field on trade. And all four of those points of the compass, we're going to stimulate growth. And guess what? That's what's happened. This is a good day for America.
Particularly when it comes to trade, we're going to focus on one country that has been getting away with murder for years, unattended to by previous administrations, particularly the Obama administration, about which more in a moment, but China. Today, of course, the market took a tiny dip, but then came back when they saw how strong the economy was reacting to all of the policy changes by the Trump administration. But what about China? Why are they continuing to say no?
The problem, David, with China is that structurally it's geared toward being sort of the parasite of the world. Everything that it does to grow its economy often comes at the expense of everybody else. Right. And the poster child for that is the theft and acquisition of the intellectual property, not just of this country, but of Europe and Japan and other countries. So the problem that China faces is that if it wants to continue that kind of model, which is based on intellectual property theft, how does it back away from that? Because that's where a lot of its growth comes from. We'd love to have a fair relationship with China. That's not happening now. But, you know, the good news is we've got a great deal that we've worked out in principle with Mexico. President Trump promised to do that back in July of 2016. He's delivering on that.
And Canada, they're still stuck on milk, huh?
I don't know what
they're choking on it.
But I'll tell you what, you can do no better than Robert Lighthizer, the United States Trade Representative, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think people understand now that this president gets up every day and thinks about one thing, thinks about basically putting Americans to work at great wages at the same time that he guarantees their national security and secure borders. That is the Trump presidency, is a presidency that basically has made the Republican Party the party of the people, the party of the working men and women of this country. And when we get this kind of data, it really validates what President Trump is doing. I mean, through the first almost 2 years of office, he's put together a resume now that's unmatched in modern presidential history. It's really extraordinary.
Well, and there's a balance. I think one of the keys is economic balance. We have finally balanced the interests of Wall Street with the interests of Main Street, as you well mentioned. I mean, the consumer confidence is across the board. We have blue-collar confidence in this economy, as well as the white-collar folks on Wall Street. But I got to ask, I don't mean to throw a skunk into the garden party here.
Oh, you're going to do it now. At least you're
President Obama
Sure.
today claimed that all of Trump's success was started under under Obama's presidency, even though he had the slowest economic recovery, if you can call it that. I don't think it was a recovery from the Great Recession. To which you say what?
That dog won't hunt. If you basically look at the 8 years of the Obama presidency, the only thing that grew robustly was the national debt. David, think about this. We started at $10 trillion of the national debt when Obama took office, and he left office doubling that. I mean, that is like crushing to this country, and shame on him. The other thing that I think that's useful to compare the two presidencies with, Obama basically slumped along at about 2% or less GDP growth year in, year out. Nobody said, and I was debating Clinton's people on the campaign trail, nobody said you could get past 2% as a way of justifying Obama-onomics. Guess what? We're well over 3%, and they revised upward the number for the quarter to 4%.
You know, Peter, you and I,
beautiful thing.
You and I remember the late 1970s when we were told the same thing: limits to growth. We're never going to get anywhere. You gotta be satisfied with zero growth rates over decades. And Ronald Reagan came along and said, no, we don't. We are better than that. In fact, it was Ronald Reagan who said, make America great again. We can do it. And again, we were in that same kind of depressed mode. Obama's people were saying we're never going to grow more than we're growing now. And Donald Trump said, no, you're dead wrong. And he's proved himself right.
We have charts to prove it. I'll encourage you to get my colleague Kevin Hassett, the chairman of the Council of Advisors, on here to show you. Yeah. He's got these charts where basically the moment that President Trump won, you saw an immediate jump and lift in business confidence, in consumer confidence, and in the confidence in this economy. And basically, confidence is so important because when businesses are confident, they invest. When consumers are confident, they spend. It's all good.
It's all good.
And this is all good. This is the president.